Hello YouTube, Elder Draco here. Sorry the audio is going to be a bit funny, and I'm sorry about the seating. This is all just a bit weird at the moment, only because this is just a very quick video. Basically, I'm having a conversation with a friend and subscriber, Omar Little, and basically, some of the things that I say sound weird to other people. To really get to know me, it's difficult for people to understand the kind of problems that I have. I'll explain very quickly. Now, everyone knows that I don't have a projector, I don't have an active 3D TV. I have a passive 3D TV, which is Cinema 3D, the flimsy pound glasses you can get from their theatres. With passive 3D, with cinema projectors, everything is different. It doesn't matter where you sit or how you look at the screen, you'll get a reasonably good 3D image. With passive TVs, it's kind of complicated. You have to have the right angle of where you sit to where your TV is. When I bought and watched Warcraft the first time, my bed was slightly lower, and with the full frame widescreen movies that I was watching at the time, because the 3D was so great, even though you were sitting slightly down, you didn't really notice as much ghosting, but you still got a reasonably good 3D. It looked a bit lacking. But with stuff like the letterbox widescreen movies, stuff like Warcraft that only has in-depth 3D, it wasn't exactly noticeable. It looked it looked kind of flat, and everyone forgets I went to see Warcraft in 3D in the cinema when it came out. So watching it on that big screen, seeing the great 3D it had then, I noticed that it had similar 3D. It just looked like it didn't have as much when I saw it in cinemas, which I should have realised that all Blu-rays don't really have the exact same amount, especially when it comes to TVs and projectors, because projectors do give better 3D quality than any player, like any standard TV or player, because it's designed specifically for that. Whereas the 3D attached to TVs are just a kind of add-on feature, from what I've been told anyway. I'm only going off what people have told me, people who make the TVs or people who work with the TVs. What people tell me is the 3D projectors are designed purely specifically to project 3D images, whereas 3D TVs are designed with the 3D technology but only as a kind of add-on feature. So for us, for people that have the passive TVs, you have to have a certain angle. So when I was watching Warcraft, I was lower on the bed and I was like, oh, this is actually quite, it wasn't noticeable, and I was like, oh, I need to sell this. I don't particularly like the 3D on this one. It wasn't as enjoyable. And Warcraft is my favourite movie of 2016. It did not make me hate the movie, it just maybe didn't want the 3D release anymore. But then when I hired the bed up recently, we attached some wheels and stuff to make it higher. And me and my partner was watching Zootropolis, and she noticed that it had the same 3D as Warcraft. And I said, no, it doesn't. Warcraft had flat 3D. She goes, no. Warcraft had this 3D. And I was like, but this has great 3D. This is extremely noticeable. You can notice the in-depth imagery. You can see all the beautiful colours, the scenery. You can notice all the fur on the characters, all the details and stuff. That Warcraft didn't have that. And she's gone, well, I watched Warcraft with you. Now, my partner doesn't like admitting it, but she is taller than me. Plus, my side hat was slightly... Our bed was like this at the time, so... Whereas she was at the perfect level watching it, I was kind of... Because she had the height advantage of the bed and the height advantage of her body. Whereas I'm very short, so I had the shortness advantage and the bed dip advantage. So when we put this up and we was watching Zootropolis, she goes, no, this is the exact same kind of 3D Warcraft had. And I was put off buying the 3D of Warcraft again. I thought, there's no point. When I used to have my sofa, all my 3D movies were perfect because my sofa was at the right tone. Say, for example, this is where my sofa was. My TV used to be about here. And I used to sit directly in the middle of the screen. So I was getting the best perfect image for all my 3D movies. All my 3D movies were the best perfect image. But once we got rid of the sofas and we got the bed, we noticed that 3D movies weren't looking as great. To her, she was noticing it a tiny bit more than I was, just like I said, because the height advantage. Plus, she's got these different glasses that she uses for the 3D TV. For example, now I just use these cheap, flimsy ones that I got from the View Cinema. But these go over my glasses, so they help for me to actually see. And plus, at the time, also, when I was watching Warcraft, I also wasn't wearing my glasses, which I didn't actually know these. I didn't know that I actually need these. I'm practically blind without these, so realizing that helps. But even so, with other movies, these look great. But I use them ones, whereas my partner uses these. She uses these kind of clip-on ones. Now, what I didn't notice was it doesn't look like it, because on the camera, nothing ever looks like it does in real life. But these glasses are actually much brighter than these ones. So whereas I know Omar, you said with the glasses, it reduces about 30% of the image, which is practically true. It is really. Films do get a bit darker, but with these, it only reduces, I'd say, about 20, maybe 15%. Because when I watch a film with these ones on, I don't really notice much darkness. But as soon as I put these ones on, it does look a bit darker. I'm thinking about investing in a pair of those. But like, yeah, passive TVs and passive glasses have to have a certain style of usage. You have to do things right, and you have to have the right angles, which is annoying. But I love my little 3D TV. It does a great job. And I'm happy with it. I just wanted to answer because he said to me like, "How was Warcraft better?" It's not that although Greg Breeden agrees with me that the more sometimes, like with Star Trek Into Darkness, the more I've watched that 3D movie, the 3D just seems to fade away. But with other certain movies, like Ant-Man, I've seen Ant-Man. I've had Ant-Man 3 times. I've owned Ant-Man 3 different times, and each time I've owned Ant-Man, it's looked better than the last time I watched it. I don't know whether that's because my brain forgets what it looked like, or whether or not there's just something weird with my player. Sorry about the noise in the background. But anyway, like, it's just, yeah, you know, I think that it's because of the fact that now I seen Zootropolis, the bed's at a decent height, the TV's at a reasonable height. I think now that I can actually see, because to me it still looks just in depth. There is no pop out moments for Warcraft, like that I can notice, and I've watched the whole movie again. There's no pop out, but the in depth looks so much clearer than it did before, and that is why I'm proud to now own that movie back, and I'm not getting rid of it. I was upset when I had to get rid of Warcraft. I was upset that I thought that my favourite movie of 2016 I would not be able to own on 3D. I'd have to get the standard Blu-ray, but I took the chance, I bought it back, and I appreciate it for what it is. Does this mean that all movies that I've watched previously I didn't know? Okay, previous Blu-rays that I've said had bad 3D, especially to the TV and the player, was when I had the perfect picture image. I didn't need to change any settings. I didn't need to adjust any heights. Everything was fine. Nothing needed changing. The Blu-rays that I've watched that had bad 3D genuinely have bad 3D. Or unnoticeable 3D to my TV and my player. Whether or not it looks better on a projector, that's probably, yeah, you know, it probably would look better on a projector. But on a TV on the player that I had, there was no noticeable 3D. So at this moment in time, I will never own those ones back. If I ever do invest in a 3D projector, if I ever do invest in the proper quality ones, and you know, and certain movies do end up looking a lot better on the projectors, then maybe I will consider buying some of them back just to give them a shot. But I highly doubt it, because I've heard people that own projectors who've said half the movies I've mentioned genuinely don't look that good in 3D. So that's just, I just want to answer that question. So I didn't change any settings, I just fixed my bed, and I have a decent angle and height now where everything's fine. Even some of the full frame widescreen movies look a lot better than they did. So it probably was just the bed height thing that made me not really appreciate Warcraft originally. But what also made me appreciate the in-depth feature was The Legend of Hercules. Because that had some great 3D. Even though it wasn't a great movie, it had some great 3D. Just appreciate it. Same as Suicide Squad, same as Batman v Superman. They don't really have many pop-out moments. They mostly have in-depth moments, and they look great. As 3D goes for DC, it looks great. Anyway, that's just a quick video. I just want to let you guys know. Yeah, I'm not going to do my outro for this video. It's just a very quick video to let people know that I was wrong about Warcraft. I'm not saying I was wrong about the others, because I said that was at a time when I had everything perfect. There was a perfect setup, so there was no mistakes with them. But with Warcraft, I admit that things were wrong. Anyway, that is the end. So, see you later.